local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster and area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Well, thanks for joining us here at the new Lloydminster Nissan. Today, we have Michael Davison here with the Men's Shelter and the Social Action Coalition. He joins us today to talk about the coldest night of the year, which is coming up February 28th. And right on cue, winter has returned. What if your lifestyle could stay as vibrant as you are? Discover Care Freedom Living by Wellings. It's a modern way of living designed for people who want to feel life to feel easier, more connected, and entirely their own. At Wellings of Lloydminster, your days unfold at your pace with spaces that feel modern, welcoming, and full of possibility. Live life on your terms and at your pace at Wellings. Visit Wellings to discover more. 3211 72nd Avenue, Lloydminster, and at wellingsoflloydminster.com. Camp Hoo-Ha is back on March the 6th with their second event in Lloydminster, and this time they are heading to the Fight Farm on March 6th to learn some self-defense. Your ticket includes instructions from a certified instructor, a themed craft, food, drink, and of course, your Camp Hoo-Ha badge. Hoo-Ha, you can join Camp Hoo-Ha on Facebook to get your ticket before it sells out. The Border City Card Show is back on March 7th in the WS Convention Center. It runs 11 to 4. Proceeds support I Love Alberta Boobs, and there will be over 70 tables and a Magic the Gathering tournament. The doors are open from 11 to 4, and former Edmonton Oiler Ladislav Schmid will be signing autographs, and he'll be there from 1 to 3. The Border City Collectors Show is back in the WS Convention Center March 13th and 14th with antiques, farm toys, dolls, coins, and a whole lot more. The doors are open on Friday night from 5 to 9 and Saturday from 9 to 5. Time now for the Lloydminster Look Back. And with the 22nd annual Cutter Rally for Cancer next Saturday, we go back to 2006 for what was then the third annual Cutter Rally for Cancer. The Lloyd Look Back is brought to you by Exhaust Masters. Smooth out life's bumpy road with suspension, brakes, shocks, and struts from Exhaust Masters Lloydminster. See exhaustmasters.ca or call 780-875-8851.
We may be heading towards spring, but out on the trails today, it almost felt like Christmas. This nostalgic winter wonderland adventure was all part of an annual cause.
It's fun. It's a blast to hook a team, go out on the trail, listen to the sleigh bells, do all of that.
Every year, several organizations in the agriculture community come together to raise money for cancer research, and its popularity has seen participation numbers grow as people come from all over.
Saskatoon, Calgary, Fort St. John, Iron River. It's amazing how far people are coming to go to this event.
I think this is an awesome idea for the agricultural community, the people who are interested in horses, to come forward and do something that they enjoy doing and to support us.
And part of the fun in raising the money is the event's competitive edge. Everyone who heads out on the trail has a mission. They must visit 5 different checkpoints, then roll 5 dice at each stop.
You ready? Yeah. Watch this one.
In the end, the person with the highest total walks away with a brand new cutter, and that's just one competition.
And whoever sold the most tickets got to ride on the cutter, and the losers had to cook supper. So let's just say I'm all filled up and ready for my ride home.
But win or lose, all participants were just happy to be part of the cause for a cure.
There's smiles all around. Everybody's happy. Everybody's having a good time.
To get out in fresh air, be able to take our horses, be with the grandkids, a little bit of fellowship with other people who have the same interest.
Just getting out with the kids and being able to drive horses.
And organizers plan on bringing the event back every year as long as the battle against cancer still needs to be fought.
I think if we keep working at it, don't give up, that eventually we will beat it.
I've heard even this morning some stories, so there's not a day goes by that you don't hear of somebody that it's personally touched with cancer.
Well, it was a pleasure for us to be able to deliver cupcakes to the Paradise Hill Early Learning Center last week and thank the team there for taking such good care of the children at that daycare. I'm glad we went last week and not this week. You can nominate a caregiver or a group of caregivers by sending an email to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. All forms of caregivers, from professionals to family caregivers to bus drivers and teachers, are eligible. You know, put it this way. If you think that they're a great caregiver, nominate them today. Cupcakes for Caregivers is proudly presented by Lloydminster Sobeys and Umbrella Marketing and Design. Could be something as simple as shoveling somebody's driveway. BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and they will help you get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. Any kind of disaster that hits, whether it's fire, flood, wind disaster, sometimes it just takes a leaky appliance to cause havoc in your home. BioClean Disaster Services will be there to take care of your property and your belongings, but more than anything, be there to take care of you and your family. In just 10 years, they've become Lloydminster's local restoration company. They're also Lloydminster's largest restoration company. BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. I'll take a break and be right back with Michael Davison in just a moment.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster is proud to be your 100% locally owned and operated furniture store with a focus on Canadian-made quality furniture. Shop their tremendous selection of beautiful living room sets, stylish sectionals, and comfy recliners. Border City Furniture also offers many different sizes of dinettes, as well as incredible bedroom sets and mattresses. Stop in and see Calvin and Ryan for the best customer service experience in Lloyd. They've got the awards to prove it. Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster, where the sale never ends. Welcome back. It's not just a name, it is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster, and they're open on Sundays, and that makes filling your big blue jugs a whole lot quicker and easier. And if you want great tasting water right from your tap, call the Superior Water team and ask about their under-the-sink reverse osmosis systems. 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste. After all, it is Superior Water. Open on 57th Avenue, Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 5, and they have a coin-operated location by 7-Eleven just off Highway 17 South. Michael Davison is here from the Lloydminster Social Action Coalition Society and also with the Men's Shelter, is more commonly as you know it. And we're pleased to have Michael back. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Kurt. Thanks for having me.
It's been a while. I remember talking to you a while ago, but it's been a while since we've had you on the show. So I know this is something you're very, very passionate about. What is the coldest night of the year?
So the coldest night of the year, it's our largest fundraiser of the year. It's a national event put on by organizations all over the place, and it's just an opportunity for us to get together, make contact with the community, tell our story, and raise some funds and have a good time. It's a family-friendly event, and it's my funnest event to go to in a year, right? Because we get all sorts of people to show up and we have a lot of great conversations. It's lots of fun.
And hopefully it's cold.
Yeah,
but not too cold.
It's I personally don't want it to be cold, right? Because I'm selfish, but it's supposed to be cold. And that's the idea, right? So that we kind of get a taste, but officially I have to say that it's supposed to be cold, but I don't want it to be cold. I want it to be nice. I don't want to hear my kids complain, but it's a great time either way.
Now, last year you guys changed locations.
That's right.
Going with the same location this year?
Yeah, we'll be starting this year at the Olive Tree again. They were so kind and generous to host us, and it ended up being really, really great because we got to explore the downtown. We got to do a big long walk, and there was just some spaces there for services too. I really like that location. I think it's really good. So,
how'd you guys do last year?
We did fantastic. So last year we had a record-setting year for our organization. Just the amount of community support, the amount of community engagement. I can never remember the exact dollar amount we raised, but I know it was the most we've ever raised. And I was saying this before the show, and we had people come out who maybe they don't love us, but they still showed up because they're with us in spirit, and they still gave us some feedback, some constructive feedback. But it was such a great event because we had all kinds of people show up. We had all sorts of different kinds of engagement. We had great fundraising. It was fantastic. It was a great year. We had community partners show up and support us. So yeah, fantastic year last year. Best experience I've had in the 10 years I've been doing this.
So where do you go downtown? You start at the Olive Tree.
You start at the Olive Tree. Okay. So you start at the Olive Tree and you go east. So you will end up walking by the shelter. And then you sort of go down to the middle school down there. I always forget what it's called. That's ES. Yeah. ES. And then so the path actually goes up to Highway 16 and back around. But last year, I didn't read the map beforehand. So I went to the hot chocolate stand and I filled up on hot chocolate, and shake hands and talk to everybody. And then I went back and I thought, where did everybody go? So it turns out there's quite the loop, but you can go to the hot chocolate stand and back. It's
Where's
100%.
the hot chocolate stand?
It's at ES.
At ES there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and then up and then basically back to Olive Tree?
And then back to the Olive Tree. And there's usually some sort of refreshments there, right? Hot drinks, things like that. There's always a toque for the participants. So you see those around town, the different toques that they have, and just a bunch of people hang out. Not everyone who supports us can walk it. So there's usually a nice contingent of people just hanging out, helping out, having coffee, so it's a good event. So
how do you get signed up?
You get signed up. You go to the Coldest Night of the Year website. I think it's cnoa.org. It might be a .ca or .com. CNOY. I'm pretty sure it's .org. And you sign up there. You type Lloydminster into the search bar, and there we are there. They have a whole website for us where it tracks the teams, and it does everything for you, yeah.
Do you have to participate as a team? If you're an individual, can you join a team?
You can join a team as an individual. You don't have to participate as a team. You don't have to participate to make a donation. So I don't think I'm ever officially on the list, but I just will support a team or make a donation or pledge somebody else. So there's a lot of ways to participate. You can just show up and walk and pay nothing, right? That doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is telling our story, right? And just having that engagement with the community.
So there's no minimum,
no
when you
minimum.
Sign up, you don't have to make a donation. You don't have to sign up to do this, raise a minimum of $50 or something like that.
No, there's no minimums. Yeah. We want people to show up. I think if you show up, it's great if you sign a waiver, right? But other than that, you're good to go.
What do you think made it so popular last year? Was it the change of location?
I think the change in location, I think we did a really much better job of showing that we're listening to the community and putting our faces out there for better or worse, and to invite meaningful engagement and show that we're making meaningful changes. And I think the face of the organization we had at the time, Kagan, he did a really, really good job of getting people interested in what we have to say. And so it was just fantastic. And he was really able to put himself out there and show leadership in that space. So it was huge.
Starts at the Olive Tree, ends at the Olive Tree. There's a hot chocolate stand halfway through.
Yep.
You get a toque. And what happens at the end?
At the end, there's usually there's always a little speech. There's always a speech at the beginning. There's a little speech at the end. There's treats. We thank everyone. It's more of a come and go style. So some people will walk. We have a couple of diehard supporters who will walk as long as they can possibly go. So they'll do more than one loop. So at the end, it's mostly just friendship, right? Handshaking. Thank you for coming. And then you kind of wait around to see how many laps those hardcores will do. That's what I do anyways. I know everyone has a different thing with it, but there's a couple of hardcores.
So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll ask Michael what the plan is this year what do they plan on doing with these dollars and how it supports the men's shelter here in Lloydminster. We'll be right back here at the new Lloydminster Nissan.
Jason Arden and Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden and Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years. It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome back. We're here at the new Lloydminster Nissan, and Michael Davison is our guest. He is here on behalf of the Social Action Coalition Society, the Men's Shelter, and we're talking about the coldest night of the year coming up February the 28th. What time do things get started? I forgot to ask that.
Oh my goodness. And I want to say show up at 4 to register, and the walk starts at 5. Perfect. I got that right. Yeah.
So what's your goal this year?
So our goal this year is 44,000, and we talked before the break, and I think that's what we hit last year was 44,000. So we're going to hit the same level goal, the monetary goal of 44,000, with all of that staying right here in Lloydminster, all of that coming to us, and hopefully we get the big turnout too. You know, my ego loves the big turnout. I love that engagement. I love to see people engaged. So those two things happen, I'd be thrilled. Over the moon. Yeah.
What's the plan? Like, do you always, like, you have a goal of 44? Do you plan, what's your plan to do with that money? Does it just go into strictly running the shelter? Do you set that money aside for something?
So that money goes aside. In the last few years, we have changed what we do with the money, but right now we're trying to think, we're pretty short-term stable. You know, we're very fortunate as a not-for-profit to be stable in the short term. So we do have the privilege of we're setting that money aside to look at some good common sense long-term strategies to support better outcomes for our clients in the Lloydminster area. We have no real direct plan with it right now. We've tried a couple things, we've looked into a couple things, but we do set it aside. We do put it in an account and we say, okay, we're going to set this money aside, and when an opportunity presents itself, we'll be ready. And so that's really the thinking behind that money that we have right now.
What's the winter been like at the men's shelter, Michael? Because it has been one extreme to the other this year, with temperatures below -40 and then temperatures like +8. It's been strange.
We are a 28-bed shelter, and we've been at 28 beds consistently for months now. It's been pretty good behavior-wise. There's been obviously a little bit of change over staff with Kagan moving on to a new exciting opportunity. So that's, fine, but it's just creates a little bit of disruption, right? So, but it's been good. It's been stable. We're very fortunate that other community groups do what they do. Shout out Residents in Recovery, shout out the street team, the Tea Release team there. Big shout out to the Friendship Center, who help us a lot. They do a lot of meals and things like that. So this year, and I think the year before, more than ever, it's felt like more of a community approach to working with helping people who need help and getting people lifted up off the streets. So we've been full. We have a second stage housing facility. It's been full. And yeah, that's just how it's been. It's tough, right? Winter's always tough.
We're coming up on a year since the big symposium that was held here in Lloyd. It was impressive to see that many people come out and take part in that. Has that changed anything, Michael, do you think?
I think the biggest thing that's hard sometimes for an outsider to see, the pace of change is slow, right? I wish that it wasn't. And, I'm the president of the board. And in my regular life, when I'm not volunteering, I'm always wanting things to happen right now. But the truth is, the biggest change that happened is we reflected on feedback that we've received, and we did make tweaks to our programming in the last year and a half. And I think that's been noticed in the downtown core. I've been approached by some people who have businesses in the downtown core who said some of the tweaks we made have affected some of the behaviors and issues they were having down there. So that made me really happy to hear, to have people approach me in a positive way. We've also sort of focused less on, we've moved to what's called a housing first strategy. We've done that in the past with mixed success, but the whole idea is we have social workers, we have caseworkers to bring these people in, we get them into a plan, and then we try to launch them, right? And we work very closely with other organizations in town to help our clients find suitable housing that works for them to get back on their feet and be successful, whatever form that takes for them, but just a way to get back up. Yeah.
Is that a change, Michael, from we're gonna find a bigger location to we're gonna change our strategy and now we're finding housing? Is it two completely different things, or is it still a possibility of still looking for a new kind of location, a bigger location?
That's a good question. I'd say right now our primary focus is on launching, and so the form that takes, it would still probably be structural. Right now we have 28-bed shelter and we have an 8-room transitional housing thing. So the idea is you come in off the street, you get into a program, you can graduate to the transitional house where you live alone but supported, and then you get a job, and then eventually you graduate, and that creates a pipeline of people graduating. We have sort of, in our conversations with the city, targeted that it would be beneficial to have more of that housing setup, right? Where people graduate, like they're stable, they're ready to like get out and be participating. So we've targeted that as maybe our next opportunity. So that would be structural, but I don't think it's going to be a giant project. But I don't want to say, because a lot of what we do boils down to what the government, the contractors, they want us to do, right? So we have a Saskatchewan and Alberta contract. And if they say you need more beds, okay, then we kind of need more beds, right? A lot of it boils down to what they want to do. But right now, we're taking the position that we want to focus on support structures and graduating people and getting them back on their feet.
You mentioned Kagan. He did a great job. He really did put himself out there. Is the search still on to replace Kagan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've been working pretty hard. Shout out to the members of the board volunteering to recruit. We've been working pretty hard to find the right person. And that's hard. This is a hard job. So even if you do everything right, things still go wrong. It's hard on the heart, because, if you're a human and you're in that space, you have empathy, you have sympathy. So bad things happen to people who live on the street, and that can wear a person down. So it takes a kind of person with a certain kind of commitment and a certain kind of buy-in to take that job in the first place. Mm-hmm. So finding them is hard. And then to develop them to be constructive is very difficult. So we're still looking. It's only been, oh my goodness, I guess it's been 3 months. But yeah, we're still on the hunt. We're actively recruiting. So if you know somebody, yeah.
What a great comment, though. You're right. It takes the right person.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing. And even when you succeed, you might not be successful. That's so true. Yeah.
So this is something we're not, our shelter isn't going to solve homelessness. We're not going to be the magical community, the magical organization that fixes this problem and figures it out. The most realistic thing we can hope for is saving a life, right? Is getting one person out. And that's how we like to think about it. That's the best way to think about it, because if you focus on that life, that change, that positive impact, even if you don't see it right? Even if like, let's say we help a fellow and, we put some ideas in his head and we give him supports and he moves on and we never see him again, but he might go off and get on his feet again. Like that belief that one life that we made a positive impact on, that has to be enough, right? To get you through all of the rough stuff in between. Yeah.
So coldest night of the year, February 28th.
Yeah.
Get there about 4:00. Am I forgetting anything?
No, get there around 4:00. Come and have a good time. My kids will be there, so you can tell them crazy things about their dad, or they'll tell you crazy stories about their dad, and they love that. They just will work the room doing it.
Well, that's a good point. It is a family event.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can bring your family out. You can put a team together. How's it going so far?
So far, I haven't checked since the weekend. There's 30. We've reached 40% of our goal, just about 40% of our goal. So that's just like what, 15 grand, something like that, 16 grand. So it's coming. It's last minute Lloyd.
Yep.
So it's not unusual for us to get the last 50% of our goal in those 3 days beforehand, or like at the event, right? When everyone shows up with their pledges and everything like that. So that's just the way it is.
I did think of one more thing I was going to ask about sponsorship. Are you still seeking sponsorship?
I think so. So we've reached out. We had some great community sponsors last year. We had Mary Brown's Chicken, who we love. We had the Home Depot, who took care of us, and they did great. Obviously, I already shouted out the Olive Tree. So I know we're talking to them right now, but we are always looking for another community sponsor. You can be the brake sponsor if you like, or we always could use volunteers because we're walking along Highway 16. It's usually good for us to have a couple of people for safety with street crossings and stuff like that. Time or money is always appreciated. Time's huge, right? That's such a big give. So yeah, we're still looking for sponsors.
And you mentioned volunteers, so you do need a few more volunteers.
A few more volunteers. I'm never going to say no to a volunteer, especially for those street crossings. That makes me personally nervous, like because there's kids there and it's a busy road, right?
So if you want to volunteer, just how do you get a hold of?
You can reach out to the shelter, whose phone number right off the top of my head, I don't know. I apologize. It's just saved in my phone. But
you just Google it nowadays.
Yeah, just Google a shelter and you can volunteer that way. Reach out. Kaylee should be there to answer the phone. But yeah, that's the best way to do it.
And you got clarification on the website as well.
cnoy.org, at cnoy.org. So my first instinct was the best instinct. Always go with it.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, and Cynthia Young will be our guest. We look forward to chatting with you then.